through your freedom.
Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47. We're not going to allow it to be used against our fellow Americans anymore. Hell yes, hell yes, hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15. Hell yes, your AK-47. Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15.
Oh, hell no!
Hell yes, we're not going to allow it to be used against our fellow Americans anymore.
Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. We're just going to have a little flat out, honest discussion. Are you prepared? Now, I think the world has gone a lot further than America has in its thinking about what is happening and what is being done and what needs to be done. There's an interview by Kien Bexty. Hopefully I pronounced that right. He's Dutch or from the Netherlands. And he has an interview up, and it's with a farmer in the Netherlands. And the quote is real simple, but it invites a massive prepper and patriot discussion for you and I. Here's the quote. "We don't want war, but if we have to, we go. Civil war, so be it." Now, this was a calm discussion on the side of the road with a farmer who just wanted to express her sentiment. That's how close they are, folks. Now, let's forget about the United States and our land geography and our separate states. Let's just look at the small country of the Netherlands. It's small. There's nowhere for them to run. There's nowhere for them to go. The country really can't secede from itself. They're left with no alternative other than civil war if they want to maintain any semblance of their culture and their culture, their traditions, their law. They're being destroyed by their own government. And I think that is what the world is looking at. Every country, the government is destroying the country. Whether it is the culture or the economy, the energy, the infrastructure, government decisions, folks, that's how important they are. And the people have decisions to make as well. And it looks like the people of the world are starting to say the big scary words, civil war. Do I believe this person? Wholeheartedly. I believe that they will go to civil war. There's no other choice. There's nowhere to run. They can't get backed into a corner anymore. They're already in the corner. They're already being told, we're destroying you. Folks, it's happening here in the United States as well. I mean, God bless the Dutch, and I hope that they don't have to go to civil war, but if they do, God be with them. Here in the United States of America, we can secede or end up with partisan conflict and civil war. And it's the same story. The government is at war and is destroying the country. What choice will the people have? What choice do you have right now? I made the decision to come back to the continental United States and go to the South. I'm in the South, under the South, right? Because I want freedom and I want the opportunity. No matter what options come up, I want the most opportunity to stand up and fight for what I know is right. Do I think we're going to have civil war in this country? I don't know. Do I think we could have secession? I think the odds of secession are higher than civil war. Listening and reading and watching and paying attention to social media, the word secession is used quite a bit in the South. Now, we all know that the Civil War fought back in the 1800s, the 1860s, was about just that. The South saying, we don't want any more of your shit from the North. And it ended up being a massive fight. Is that the way to go? Right? Civil War? Well, see, secession started the Civil War. I don't know if people recognize it for what it is and what is coming. I hope you do. I hope we all do. This is that serious. It goes from being kind of a joke to being deadly serious in about 5 seconds. These same things have happened in our world in the past in history. Governments become abusive towards the people. Government will not change its mind. Government becomes insistent. Government uses force on the people, and the people finally fight back. And they gain their freedom, folks. They gain their liberty. Now, in the United States of America, or rather, the colonial America, we got a constitutional republic out of the deal, right? We had the Articles of Confederation and then the Constitution. And we had a pretty sound, stable government. In France, they had their revolution shortly after that, but they ended up with a democracy, and it was far, far less stable and very dangerous. The question I have is, if we end up with either secession or civil war and this country breaking up, what will we get out of the deal? Right? The idea is to throw off government. The idea is just to toss government in the garbage bin, the dust bin, and say, we don't need it. We'll start another one of our own, one that respects our rights. Our rights come first and foremost. Right? The state is not supreme. The state is servant. Right? But what would we end up with on the streets? See, the problem in France after their revolution was there were several groups that were constantly vying for power and control, and the belief that their ideas were superior. And so we ended up with, they ended up with terrorism. They ended up with terrorism, terrorist groups, a lot of murder, a lot of mayhem. Is that what America has in store for it? Even if we say, that's it, we're done. I don't know if the United States government would allow civil war to start without just putting it down heavy-handed. I don't know how they would stop it either. I mean, the federal government can't seem to stop Hunter Biden from smoking crack. They couldn't stop the Taliban from taking back Afghanistan, right? If there's anything Joe Biden is good at, it's surrendering. But what do we have in store for us, folks? What do we have coming? In the Netherlands, they seem much more organized, much more aware. It's almost like there's still a country that knows who it is. When this lady says, we don't want war, but if we have to, we go. Civil war. That sounds pretty determined. America, are we going to have that moment where we say, we didn't want this, but we have to? It is now secession. Florida has Ron DeSantis. Texas has Governor Abbott. There are other good leaders out there who would love to step up and say, yeah, we've had enough. It's a big move. It's a tremendous move and proclamation to declare that you're leaving. Right? Leaving a bad relationship is hard, folks. Leaving one where the other side has tanks and planes and guns and likes to threaten the people. Right? I have no doubt that the United States government would put as much hurt and pain to its own people as they do to other countries. You know, there's so many questions, right? How would the South survive if they seceded? And if the people want civil war, then how does anyone stop that? Right? How does anyone stop that? Right? When the people have had enough, even good leaders, I think, like Governor DeSantis, would have a hard time stopping the people of Florida from doing what they want to. The people from Texas from saying, that's it, all feds get out now. Right? When the people speak, it is different than when a politician speaks. I'm not calling for violence, folks. I'm not calling for anything illegal or harmful or dangerous. I'm saying, look at where we're at. Civil war or secession? Which one? Which can happen? Which may happen? Right? Now we're hoping and praying that this fall, this election season, right, we get a Republican Congress back in. We get a huge red wave to take back at least the House of Representatives. We were hoping for that. Hoping upon hope. But are you prepared with food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense? Because even if the Republicans take back the House, it won't be perfect. And the political left is going to lose their minds collectively. They will lose their stuff, folks. I'm expecting violence, new kinds of violence. I'm expecting trouble coming from the federal government, trouble coming from state governments, trouble coming from social groups, trouble coming from international organizations like George Soros's NGOs. I'm expecting all kinds of trouble. Power grid issues, food issues. I'm expecting an awful lot, not to mention all of their pandemics and bullshit. I know that sounds dire. I know it sounds worst case. Well, I pray for the best, but I plan for the worst. I really hope that you do as well. Right? When we have regular people in Europe talking about civil war, that's interesting. It's disconcerting. And it should give people pause for the cause and realize what is going on here. These people aren't out having a 4th of July picnic, parade, party. They're protesting for their very lives. And they're hoping that the protests are successful, that government reverses course. Otherwise, they'll have no choice, folks. As the lady said, we don't want war, but if we have to, we go. Civil war.
We don't want war, but if we have to, we go. Civil war. So be it.
So be it. All right, folks, I'll see you at the 4 p.m. Subscribe Star live. It'll be live, folks. Monologue followed by live Q&A with you guys. Thank you for subscribing to subscribestar.com, The Prepared Mind. You are supporting this channel, keeping us going, keeping the lights on, keeping spam and tuna fish in the cupboard, keeping the information flowing, the contacts. Folks, we're in contact with people around the world, and I want to thank you for participating in that, for supporting it. Without you, we can't do this. So I'm glad to have you here, and please share that internet address right up there with others so they can find us as well on YouTube and then find their way to Subscribestar. I'll see you very soon. Chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours. Semper Fi. Godspeed.